What's going on, podcast audience? It's the Honesty Podcast, and I'm Pat Voss, your host. Every Saturday, you'll see a new episode up on Periscope. You'll see new vlogs every day, at least 2 to 3 times a week. If you check out honestypodcast.weebly.com, you can see my blogs up almost 3 times, 4 times a week. Check it all out. I do have my GoFundMe campaign for sports and entertainment. I am looking for, obviously, anyone to donate anything. Looking for about $1,500 total, though, for an equipment fund. What that'll do is that'll put in place where I can get a pair of headphones, good headphones, a laptop, a microphone, and I'll be ready to go. I'll do vlogs every single day if I have all that. But for right now, we're just going from the phone. By the way, big shout out Preston Bailey at Smash TV Radio, and of course, all of the GMB Sports or GME Sports family out there, Brandon, Clark, everybody out there. Congratulations on your website. I love what you guys are doing with the rest of your brand, and I wish you great success coming here in the future. Now, let's get down to the big things. UFC 206 in Toronto on the 10th of December. Conor McGregor has been officially stripped of the title. I'm not in favor of that. I mean, yes, he hasn't defended the featherweight title in over a year, but I'm not in favor of him being stripped of the title because he won it from the current champion at the time. They would have to beat him to be the ultimate champion. They can be the interim champion, but to be the undisputed champion and just to be given to Jose Aldo like that is pretty weak. You know, fucking shame on you. Definitely shame on you. The UFC makes me so upset because a guy like Conor McGregor, who has a nasty left hand, can get in and be a 2-title holder, and then all of a sudden he's stripped of 1 title. He's now a lightweight champion only. More than likely then, if he doesn't get his match with Mayweather, he'll have to fight Khabib. And Anthony Showtime Pettis against Max Holloway at 206 is the headline event for the interim featherweight title. Jose Aldo is the undisputed champion. That mixes it up because now Frankie Edgar could beat the interim champion and go on to beat Jose Aldo possibly for the title. And with Conor McGregor taking time off to be with his wife and his kid, or his girl and his kid, I just think that a lot of it is trying to replace Conor McGregor. And I'm not sure that that can ever happen, the kind of striker and the kind of fighter that he is. Also, another good thing to look out for. UFC 207. Ronda Rousey's coming back to fight Amanda Nunes. I'm not sure that Amanda Nunes is going to get knocked out by Rousey, but I will say this. If they go 5 rounds, decision, probably split decision in favor of Rousey. She gets her title back. You know, hoorah, parade comes up. So I'm going to have a lot of fun watching that and then reporting on it. But for 206, by the way, the main event was supposed to be Daniel Cormier against Anthony Rumble Johnson. That's not going to happen. DC is out due to injury. He just keeps getting injured, or his opponent keeps getting either arrested or fined or suspended or whatever. If I was DC, I would retire right now the UFC lightweight champ or light heavyweight champion. Let them then vacate the belt to some other person, and then become just a straight TV personality, because that's all he's good for right now. Not to say he's not a good fighter, but that's all he's good for right now. He's only good when it comes to being a commentary guy or a commentator. Like me. I'm not going to go out and play baseball. If I keep coming out and hurting myself over and over and over again, I know my career's about over. I would retire and I'd become a commentator. That is what it is. He can't get a fight to save his life. One thing after the other, he cannot get a fight to save his life. And now it's time to retire. I called the Miesha Tate retirement, by the way. I know I wish I would have had that recorded. I called the Miesha Tate retirement. I said, you know, if she loses, you know, whatever the match be, she's probably going to retire after this match. And she did. So now, 205 was the last you'll see of Cupcake Tate. But with people on the rise like Ronda Rousey coming back, Amanda Nunes holding the belt, Cyborg trying to create a whole different weight class, I think if Cyborg creates a whole nother weight class, Ronda Rousey should hopefully win her belt against Nunes and then go up a weight class to fight Cyborg to become the first women's 2-belt champion and then retire. That's it. I say she does 2 to 3 more fights and then she should leave. She said it. She said this fight at 207 would be one of her final fights. I don't blame her. She needs to move on. She needs to be an entertainer, do her thing elsewhere, make her money. I don't blame her for it. You know, she was undefeated for quite a while. Then she got knocked out. Now she's coming back. That's it. You know, you have the heart of a fighter, and she has the heart of a fighter, of a true warrior. Anderson Silva had it. Jose Aldo has it. I'm just not sure what he's going to do now being handed the UFC featherweight title and trying to be released by UFC. I'm not really sure. You know, obviously that was kind of a grab to say, Jose, come back. Let me kiss your ass. Come on back, and let's hope we can make more money off of you knocking someone out if you're that good anymore. But to me, if Jose or anyone in the UFC wants to leave, they should leave. If they say they're going to leave, and this is with Conor McGregor too, when he wasn't given UFC 200 headlining status, and he threatened to quit the company young and retire while he was young, that is a prissy little move. That was a pussy move. That's not something I can agree with. I'm sorry about the language too, by the way, but Honesty Podcast is unedited, unfiltered, mature audiences only. But I will say, I didn't like that move at all. I thought that was a weak move to tweet out that you're going to retire young just to get back at someone for not headlining you because you missed what you were supposed to attend. Stop doing that. Stop complaining about everything. Step in the ring, or the octagon rather. Prove what you can do. Win your belts. Win all the fights you can win. And walk away at the end of the day. That's it. You're a great entertainer, McGregor, but shut up when it comes to shutting up. Like, when it comes time to be quiet, be quiet. Like, Tyron Woodley didn't learn that. You haven't learned that. You know, there's quite a few fighters that haven't learned. So, be good entertainers, but please stop reaching for attention. Whenever it feels like you're reaching, people will shy away. People don't care that you're retiring young because eventually then, because of that, they will forget about you and they'll move on to the next one. Yeah, you'll be in conversations for a long time, but they'll move on to the next one. Speaking about moving on to the next one, the Dallas Cowboys need to move on from Tony Romo. They have their future star in Dak Prescott. They have a 1-2 punch with Ezekiel Elliott in the backfield. They have a pretty good defense. They're a one-loss team. This is the team of the future right here. You know, like the Cubs in the MLB, like the Cubs rebuilt their franchise from the ground up, basically, over 5 years. Dallas needs to do that now, and they have started where they can be America's team again. And that's okay, because I wasn't around for America's team the first time. So I'd like to see one. And the Bears sure are in it. I'm here in Chicago, as you can see. Cubs, World Series champions. But I'm disappointed in the Bears. I'm not disappointed in the Bulls this season. The White Sox are trying to retool their lineups. The Blackhawks are on a good run, and they're in first place in their division. I mean, you have great teams here in Chicago that do really well. The Bears need to join that party. Now, they don't need to win a title right away, but they need to kind of join that party. If they're going to retool for real. Get rid of some of the GMs. Get rid of the coach. Get rid of everybody. Retool from the ground up. If you have to play Moneyball type ball, play Moneyball type ball. Play Moneyball. Do it on who gets the most first downs, who gets the most clutch catches, whatever it is. You have to get the right pieces in place, because if you don't, you know, as if the Bears haven't lost enough already, they're going to lose a huge part of their fan base. And the kids nowadays, the new generation, the younger generation, who was not from my generation, my era, and even though I'm younger, I'm 28 years old, but I was born in 88, and from 91, 92 on, I was watching the Bears. So I've watched the Bears now for, 24, 25 years. Same with the Cubs, same with the Blackhawks, same with the Bulls. Now, the Blackhawks, the Cubs, and the Bulls have all rewarded me for watching with championships. The Bears have not. Something I'm really, and it's okay because the White Sox hadn't won a title for a number of years. Then they won in 2005. Haven't won one since. The Cubs won the title this year. The Blackhawks won 3 and 6. The Bulls won 6 and 8. You have these great teams. Hell, even the in the MLS, the Chicago Fire won a cup. The Bears need to retool now. They need to get rid of, and it's not the players. People think it's just the players. Now, though, that is part of the reason. The mindset, the mindset needs to change. The aura around that team needs to change. If it doesn't change, you'll end up like the Cubs for 108 years. You won't win a Super Bowl. You won't win a championship. You won't even get close to sniffing that. But like the Cubs, they retooled over 5 years. They built up their farm system. They were good in the draft. They made the right trades. They hired the right coach. Like, they had that mindset. They had that feel about them. Like Joe Bannon says, try not to suck. It's just a phrase, but it emanated all the way through the season to 103 wins, a pretty successful run through the regular playoffs, and then a 7th game win and a World Series win this year. Retooling is the best thing. By the way, don't forget, this YouTube channel, hot and running all day, every day. I've got a new vlog every single day on here. A new blog 3 times a week, at least 3 times a week, on honestypodcast.weebly.com. But don't forget, down below, like, subscribe, comment. I will answer all your comments, by the way, because a lot of people that are around me here in Chicago area know that I am on disability and I have nothing but time. I have nothing but time. Yeah, I go through things here and there, but I have nothing but time for you guys. Comment, follow at Honesty Podcast on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next vlog. And on Saturday, don't forget, episode 2 of the Honesty Podcast is on Periscope. Follow at General Thoughts. When the 30 days is over, I will be able to change General Thoughts to at Honesty Podcast on Periscope. For now, just follow at General Thoughts, and you'll be following me, obviously, when I change my name. Again, GoFundMe account for the third and final time. The GoFundMe account for the equipment fund is up and running. GoFundMe, it's the podcast launch GoFundMe campaign with me and Wilson Contreras on the cover. Guys, I'm only asking for $1,500 total. Now, this is from everyone who could donate, even $1. 1,500 people donate $1. I will have the fund enough to be able to get the microphone, the headphones, the laptop. I run free things like Spreadshirt. I do commentary. I do social media advice. If you need my advice on something or you'd like to kind of know which way to go with your podcast or your show, don't be afraid to let me know. Don't be afraid to hit me up. I will do it for free. I won't charge. By the way, anybody looking for public speaking events or anybody to do any public speaking as far as social media or podcast or sports entertainment, that's me. I'm your guy. Check me out at Honesty Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube here, Facebook. I'll see you guys later. This has been the Honesty Podcast Vlog.